We back. It is the height differential. We are one night removed from the Indiana Hoosiers doing the absolute unthinkable and winning the national championship in football. We will talk about that plenty. We will break down the NFL Divisional Round, preview the AFC and NFC championships, talk a little college hoops, and a little bit else. That's the 6'6" Neil. I'm the 4'10" Neil. Like I said, this is the height differential.
You're the 4'10" who?
Nick, what did I say?
You said 4'10" Neil.
Oof. Do we need to start over?
I always knew you wanted to be like me, my dude. I always knew you wanted to be like me. That's cool.
Do we need to start over?
That's cool.
Or do we just roll with it?
We got roll with it now.
We just roll with it. The 4'10" Nick, the 6'6" Neil. This is the height differential. How many bottles of champagne did you drink last night, Neil?
We popped a couple. We had two. We had two in the fridge ready to roll. I mean, it got a little dicey there in the fourth quarter. I wasn't convinced I was going to be able to pop them, but you know, they found a way. The defense stepped up on that last drive when they needed to and got that dub. So we were popping bottles.
27-21. Miami with the ball. Had, I would say, the momentum in the second half. After controlling the whole game, it did make you a little nervous on that last drive.
I mean, yeah, they had, 60-something yards of offense in the first half, and they finished the game with 342. So the second half adjustments by Miami's offense, I mean, they were moving the ball up and down the field on a really, really good IU defense. So they figured it out, and we were talking about it. It's like, earlier in the fourth quarter, instead of taking the field goal, Sig rolled the dice and went for it on 4th and 5, couple fourth downs.
Had two on that drive.
Had two on the drive. Had the called design QB draw with Mendoza, who made maybe the play of the year, bouncing off tacklers and diving into the end zone. But, if you're going to go for it in that situation, you got Miami on the ropes. They're out of timeouts with a minute and whatever was left. Out of timeouts.
It was about a minute 50. It was minute 47, I believe.
Minute 47. 4th and 4. You have 4 yards, and the national championship is yours. And they kicked the field goal in that situation. And you and I both agreed we thought they should have gone for it, especially the way that Sig had called the game earlier and the way that Miami was moving the ball. It's like I wasn't convinced, and you weren't convinced either, that 3 points to get that 6-point lead was going to get it done. So 4 yards to win the championship, they decided not to, and luckily it paid off. But I don't know.
I mean, in that case, especially after seeing him go for it twice earlier,
yeah.
I was surprised. I was honestly surprised that they did bring out the field goal unit. And look, like I said, Miami did kind of have the momentum in the second half, and their offense was moving the ball. And whether you're up 3 or you're up 6, the other team's offense can still go win the game.
Yeah.
And to me, being up 6 was not that big of an advantage of being over 3 to not take that shot on 4th down to try to just go ahead and win it right there.
I agree.
And it did surprise me a little bit because I think it kind of was not the mold of what we're used to seeing with Cignetti. And look, and I know his thought process is, look, now they got to get a touchdown. A field goal doesn't send this to overtime. And I get that. But if you give me 4 yards to win a ship, and even if I don't get it, we're still up 3.
Yes.
And they've got to go 80 yards.
Yes.
And it's not a score a touchdown or nothing. They could kick a field goal on 4th down, even if they get in that area, and then you still have a chance in overtime.
Correct.
It worked out. But if they go down and score and get that and kick an extra point to win it, I think you're regretting not going for it on 4th down for a long time.
And the one earlier in the fourth, he was gonna kick it and changed his mind and decided to go on the Mendoza touchdown. He had the field goal team running out there. The play clock was running out, so he called timeout and changed his mind. And I mean, it worked out on that one. So I'm putting the ball. I would rather put the ball in the Heisman Trophy's winner to get me 4 yards and win that national title than risk Miami coming back, especially when Miami put up, like I said, almost 300 yards in the second half. Your defense was tired. They were allowing yards. And even on the last drive, Miami they were moving it. until
They
Carson
removed it.
Beck until Carson Beck turned into Carson Beck finally at midnight, and
Well, he to be fair, he didn't throw the ball downfield a ton
no,
yesterday and hasn't really been asked to do that a lot in the playoff.
no,
And maybe that's something that you're relying on, the fact that, he's not throwing the ball downfield a ton. And if he does, he doesn't have the arm strength of some other quarterbacks, and it's going to hang up there, and it's going to get picked off.
yeah,
And that's what happened. But even on the play where Mendoza had the 4th and 5, the
mhm.
clock management and the timeout management was still a little bit odd with Sig. And even at the end of the half, where they kind of just
You thought they were going to run the
they,
ball and just go to halftime because they had the ball to start the second half, and they ran the ball, didn't call a timeout, and then all of a sudden they're starting to throw it. It's
yeah,
like,
and they
well,
get
if
it
you're
to the
going to do
50,
that, then
and you get it to the 50, and you have 2 timeouts, and there's really nothing you can do with it.
yeah,
So,
it was odd. It was very odd.
so there were some moments, but the 4th and 5 by Mendoza, and Sig talked about this after the game, how they kind of thought that play, that draw would work against the defense that Miami ran on 3rd down. And they were just banking
Same,
on the fact that they're going to run that same
same
defense.
defense, and they did.
And they did. And I'm telling, we were watching it together, and I'm like, he stopped. He stopped.
There were two
And
dudes right there. Yeah,
he bounced off tackles. And in every championship game or most, when it's a good game, there's a play that is just that iconic play that you're going to see over and over again. And it reminds you a little bit of John Elway in the Super Bowl with the flip to get to the end zone. At least that's what it reminds me a little bit of, him
yes,
just flipping and giving his all to get in the end zone. And I mean, it was a Heisman moment for the Heisman Trophy winner.
yeah, and he won the game's MVP. I mean, his stats weren't eye popping. He didn't throw a touchdown, 186 yards, was 16 of 27. So he now has more incompletions than touchdowns finally in the playoff. But the guy that I thought really stood out and I thought won the game and was also deserving of that MVP was the plays that Charlie Becker was making. The 4th down conversion that they had was to him on the back shoulder, and then he made another outstanding back shoulder catch on a 3rd and I think it was like 3rd and 10 in the 4th quarter to keep the chains moving and the clock running before Miami started having to use their timeout. So, I mean, Charlie Becker in the second half of the season has just been an absolute monster. He had, I think, 6 catches through October, and all of a sudden in November,
Well,
he's a monster.
Surratt got hurt in the Penn State game, and that's kind of
Yeah.
where his
Yeah.
coming out party was. But no, a lot of it was Miami's defense. They were getting pressure the entire game
Yes.
and really taking Indiana out of what they wanted to do in the passing game. They really didn't have a lot of opportunities to throw downfield. And I mean, those back shoulders were about the only thing that was working. And Becker made unbelievable catches to continue some drives. And yeah, he deserves a ton of credit. I mean, without Becker, Mendoza's might not be the MVP because I don't know if they win the game.
Correct. That is correct. Yeah.
But on Miami's defense, though,
They played a
like
great game.
the pressure that they got the entire game, Mendoza was under duress the entire game. We both said last week that we thought if Indiana played the way that they've been playing, they're going to win by 20, 30 points. Maybe we underestimated the Miami defense a little bit because they did things that we hadn't seen since that first drive against Alabama where Mendoza got sacked 2 out of the first 3 plays.
Yeah.
And
They ended with three sacks total, I think, on the game.
but even with just that, he was under pressure the entire game.
He was, and the IU plan of attack. I mean, it was a run heavy attack. They ran the ball 45 times compared to only 27 passing attempts, and 45 carries for 131 yards, only 2.9 a carry. So I mean, it wasn't much. They did give up a couple big chunk plays, maybe a 20-yard. They had a 20-yard run from Black and a 15-yarder from Hemby, but the IU plan of attack was run it, run it, run it. So Mendoza, especially with the pass rush, and I mean that Miami did a great job, I think, on stopping the run and the pass.
Yeah, but I will say to their credit, they ran the ball even more in the second half, and they just stuck with it. And there were a lot of times where they lost a couple yards on first down where it was be 2nd and 12, and they'd still run it on second down and be able to get 5, 6 yards to get back on schedule to where they have a
Yeah.
chance on third down.
Yeah.
And I think that was a big part of the game.
Yeah.
But I mean, Miami's defense, I think, just deserves a ton of credit. And
Absolutely.
you knew Fletcher was going to make a play eventually. You knew Malachi Tony was going to make a play eventually,
Yes.
and they both did in the second half to give them a chance. And I mean, I ain't gonna lie. For a second, I thought Miami was going to figure out a way to pull this thing out. And then you're right. Beck just had to throw the ball downfield, and it hung up there a little bit, and it fell into the hands of Jamari Sharp.
Yeah, and I mean every time that Miami, like after that Fletcher play, and like they would draw close. IU had an answer. So like Miami, that Fletcher made it 10-7, and then IU has to have a big play. What do? They block the punt for a touchdown.
Which, yeah, we haven't even touched on that yet. I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean
such a big play.
that put them right back up by 10, and then Miami starts the fourth quarter with a touchdown. It's back to a 3-point game, and that very next drive, Mendoza goes down. I mean, that was the play we were talking about. They go 12 plays and 75 yards, and once again they're right back up by 10.
Yeah.
So every time that Miami cut it to that 3-point, score, that one-score game, Indiana needed a big play or a big drive, and their players stepped up to the occasion, and they made those plays that they needed to make.
And with the punt, I mean, that's their 8th blocked kick in 2 years.
Yeah.
And
Crazy.
which is just a phenomenal stat.
Yes.
And the possession before, Malachi Tony tries to catch the ball at the 4, trying to make something happen. They get caught. He was tackled at the 5, and they go 3 and out. They punt on 4th. They punt on 4th and 1.
Yeah.
And then you get that block punt, and it just changes. I mean, you win by 6, and you get a block punt. Block punt's a big reason why you won the game.
That is a huge play, no doubt.
But just a couple, like, they talked a lot about Mendoza growing up, just a mile from Miami's campus. His dad was a teammate with Mario Cristobal. His mom played tennis at Miami.
Yeah.
And how him not getting offered a scholarship at Miami and the whole story. I mean, it's going to be a 30 for 30. But how about Jamari Sharp too?
Yeah.
Also a Miami native. Also
Yes.
not offered a scholarship at Miami.
Yes.
The nephew of Glenn Sharp.
Pick.
The nephew of Glenn Sharp, who
was pass interference.
The famous pass interference
against
Ohio State in 2002. Just a lot of connections there. Like, it wasn't just Miami playing at home. It was a lot of Indiana kids going back and playing in their hometown.
Yeah, no, a lot of good storylines in this game. And, just good for those kids. They weren't given the chance at the hometown school that, that they probably wanted to go to in Miami. They got passed over, and, they got their revenge last night.
Yeah, so I'm glad, like we both predicted it to be a 20-30 point game. I'm glad it wasn't, because it was an entertaining game.
It was a very good game.
They so Indiana, obviously their first championship in school history. They entered the season with the most losses in FBS history with 715, and now they're national champions. They had 6 wins versus AP ranked teams this year. The previous record was 3. Under Cignetti, their record when scoring 20-plus points is now 26-0.
Dang.
Their record when allowing 27 or fewer is 26-0. When they outrush opponents, they're 25-0. They're 2-2. The games where they don't outrush opponents.
Well, you throw these stats out. Cignetti's only lost 2 games?
2 games
since he's been at IU. So there's going to be a lot of something in O's going on here, because he's only lost 2 games.
We continue. On that note, Indiana, 3 bowl wins this year. From 1899 to 2024, 3 bowl wins. Curt Cignetti has a .931 winning percentage. As you said, he just has those 2 losses. He has 3 bowl wins and 1 national title. All others have a .414 winning percentage, and as we just mentioned, those 3 bowl wins prior. Mendoza becomes the 5th quarterback in the BCS CFP era to win the Heisman and the national championship in the same season. Do you know the other 4?
Joe Burrow.
In 2019.
Wasn't it? Was it Eric Crouch maybe from Nebraska?
No, I think that was before the BCS era.
BCS era. Sorry. All right. So Joe Burrow. It's gonna be in Ohio. Did Troy Smith was he?
Nope.
Zeke
No
didn't win
Ohio
that, was
State.
it?
No
No
Ohio
Ohio
State.
State. No Ohio State. Alabama quarterback, right?
Nope.
Or not? I'm sorry, Oklahoma quarterback is what I meant.
Nope.
Oklahoma quarterback.
Nope.
Tim Tebow.
Nope.
What? Not even Tim Tebow?
Nope.
Dang.
You got
Mark Ingram. Mark Ingram?
no. It's no Alabama. You do have one SEC school, one ACC school, and then they were a Pac-12 school at the time.
One ACC school. Clemson. Nobody from Clemson won a title or won the Heisman, though.
It's not Clemson. That's why.
Oh, Jameis Winston.
Jameis.
Yeah.
In 2013.
One SEC school?
Yep.
You said no Alabama.
It's not Alabama.
Are we counting Texas in this or Oklahoma in this?
No, it was an SEC school at the time.
Oh. Dude, this is hard.
All right. 2010, Auburn.
Oh, Cam.
2004, USC.
Reggie?
Matt Leinart.
Oh, Leinart.
So it was the year after Reggie.
Okay.
But just so many stats. And what we learned yesterday, Indiana was the first-time champion since Florida in 1966. They said that on the broadcast. Really just an historic night. And do you think the party is still going at Kilroy's, at Nick's?
100%. Did you see they were lined up the night before, camped out in single-degree temperatures to get a spot in the bar at 11 a.m. when the bar opened? I mean, just the amount of time that you spend at the bar. So you get in at 11, you're probably not leaving until they closes at 2 or whatever it is. I mean, no. I mean, the scenes were absolutely, on Kirkwood, were absolutely electric. Dudes climbing on poles and light poles and trees and just massive amount of people in the middle of the street. And if there's one thing that IU knows, the students know what to do. They know how to party at IU.
Yep. Yeah.
You've been there.
Yeah, they do.
You've dabbled in that scene before.
Curt Cignetti, one thing that he earned last night was a lifetime supply of beer from the Upland Brewery in Bloomington.
Lifetime beer. So does Curt Cignetti drink beer? He looks like more of a wine guy to me.
Did you watch the post game?
I was too busy drinking my own.
The first thing he says, they ask him how he's going to celebrate. I'm going to get me a beer. And then in the press conference, he said, that beer tastes pretty dang good. I wouldn't mind tasting another one. And by knowing what he means doing all this again. But Hoosier Game Day Lager from Upland Brewery. He mentioned that by name in the post game.
I had 2 of those last night.
And he has landed lifetime supply.
Good for him. That might be. I mean, that's better than that? Might be a little bit better than any bonus in his contract. A lifetime supply.
Lifetime supply, and he says his favorite beer.
Good for Curt.
Good night for Sig, and I hope we don't own a t-shirt company. We used to. We don't. I used to. We don't anymore. But have you seen anybody print the Sig Natty t-shirt yet? Is it?
I've not seen it. I've not seen it. It's a good idea though.
How much gear did you buy last night?
None yet. I haven't had time to get on and really look at it. We got to get some gear. Got to get some stuff for the basement. You know, maybe the Sports Illustrated cover where Mendoza's diving over the end zone looks pretty cool. That might look good on the wall down here. But we will get to that this week.
And before we move on, I'm going to give you one more stat.
Okay.
Best point differential in a season in the A-Poll era.
Yeah.
The number one is the 2013 Florida State team. Their point differential was 553 points.
Okay.
Second, I would make you guess this, but it's 1944, and it's Randolph Field. Never heard of them. 489 points. Indiana ranks third all time with 479 point differential.
I mean, what was the average? It was over 20, I think. 27, somewhere in the 20s.
Have to do that divided by 16.
Incredible.
And look, that's why after saying, well, you kind of saying you were worried in the first two rounds when they're facing Alabama and Oregon, I think that's why we finally both had the gumption to be like, hey, if they do what they're going to do, they're going to win this thing by 2030. And I do think they didn't play an A game. I think they probably played a B plus game. And I thought Miami's defense played exceptional. Their offense didn't have an A game, but we said Indiana didn't have to play their best game to win, and I kind of think that's what happened.
No, I agree. I mean, the Miami defense is a big part of that, but it was not their best, but it wasn't their worst. I mean, I think probably the Penn State game might have been their worst, and they still ended up winning that game. But no, I would agree with the B plus, and that was good enough to win.
And now they're running the portal, so just go do it again. But this is also the fact that a program like Indiana, who historically is the worst Power 4 program in college football,
yep,
the way that everything is designed now with the portal, with NIL, it allows something like this to happen.
It does. Yeah.
And look, there's a lot of negative things with everything that's going on. But the fact that a team like Indiana can come out of nowhere and hire a new coach and 2 years later make 2 runs to the tournament and then win the whole thing is a positive. Because I do think people get tired of seeing Alabama, Ohio State, every single year in the national title game. And I think it was refreshing to see Indiana play Miami. And I know Miami's an historical program, but they haven't been there in the last 20 or so years.
Right. No, I mean, it starts with fan support and donor support. You know, you got to get the money flowing in to get the players and the coaches. And, you know, it's been talked about a lot that Indiana has the largest living alumni base in the country. So when you got that kind of support and like those big numbers behind you, you know, it's possible to do something like this.
And now Mark Cuban has seen what Sig can do, and he's got the wallet open.
He's writing checks. He's writing checks. I'm surprised you didn't pull out the fumble stat on IU. Did you hear about the fumble stat?
Pull it out.
There
I provided like 20-something stats.
Only one lost fumble on the entire season for IU. It happened in the first quarter of the first game.
Well, and
never lost a fumble again. Longest streak in college football history, which is 15 games now. I think the previous was 12, is what I read. So,
I mean, just really, and they didn't turn the ball over in the postseason.
No, that's a big part of why they're national champions is they take care of the football.
Well, and we've talked about it over and over again. They're just so fundamentally sound.
They are.
And maybe a lot of that has to do with the fact that their roster average age is the age of some of the youngest teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
But they didn't make mistakes, and neither did Miami until the last drive. And they had a chance there, and just ironic that Sharp would get the pick 20 years after his uncle got called for pass interference against Ohio State. I mean, still one of the I still don't think it was a pass interference. I haven't looked at it in forever, but I just remember seeing it when it happened.
Correct.
There was no way.
I agree. It was on 4th down, wasn't it? It would have been into the game. Yeah. No pass interference. I agree with you on that.
And when we transition to the NFL, we get to talk a little bit more about pass interference.
There were some controversial ones.
There were. But just to put a bow on it, and we've mentioned this several times, just nothing like it in the history of sports. There's nothing that you can compare this to.
No. It's the greatest, one of the greatest sports stories of all time. Yeah.
And
has anybody checked on Michael Irvin this morning?
They didn't show him as much as I thought they would last time.
They weren't winning, so you're probably not going to show Michael Irvin when you're not winning.
Well, even
No,
on like the
we need a
big
welfare. We
the
need a
big
welfare
run,
check on
or
Buffalo Irvin.
I just thought they would show me more,
Yeah. No.
but he definitely needs a welfare check.
Yeah. Yeah.
He had a nice little run, got a lot of pub out of it.
He did.
I think he's doing okay.
Yeah.
So Indiana Hoosiers are your 2026 national champions in football, and Indiana University has the last two teams to go undefeated in both college football and college hoops.
Yep.
In NFL, divisional weekend, I will say, I think it's the best weekend of the NFL calendar.
Yeah. I mean, this one had its ups and it had its downs. We had two great games and two games that were kind of not so great. And
I'm just saying in general, though, year after year, I
it
look
is.
forward to the divisional round
Yeah.
because you get 4 games. You get 2 games on Saturday, 2 on Sunday.
I agree. No, I'm a big fan of the divisional round, and I mean, I just want to make sure. Are you okay? I mean, I know you became a big 49ers fan here late in the season, and they just absolutely got destroyed by the best team in the NFL, the Seattle Seahawks. So I just want to make sure that you're doing all right today. You all right?
The Seahawks made the 49ers depleted roster look like a D2 team. It was like a D1 team and a D2 team.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't need to get into that game. Just an absolute butt whooping. I mean, I turned it off at halftime and did not turn it back on. And then I was like, I need to look and see to make sure the Seahawks won, and they won by what, 35?
41-6. Yes.
I was banking on that Sam Darnold, lost as the number 1 seed last year with the Vikings, and then you're like, is he even going to play? Well, they sure didn't need him to play.
Well, I mean, right off the jump, they returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown. Yeah. I mean, right off the jump, it was basically over.
But not much to go into that. Who's going to go into Seattle and win? It's got to be the Rams. They're the only option, but they just look unstoppable.
I mean, we watched that game. Well, I don't know if you were there. We were watching it at Brownies the last time that the Rams played the Seahawks, in November, maybe actually it was early December.
Yeah.
And they were up, 16?
Mm-hmm.
They had that weird 2-point, was it a 2-point conversion?
The fumble that ended up being converted too, yeah.
Yeah, like whatever that was. So it took the Seahawks kind of some fluky things to beat the Rams that day. So I wouldn't put it past the Rams to be able to do it. But I've had Seattle at the top of my rankings almost every week that we've talked about it. So I expect Seattle to still win.
Well, since we're talking Rams, we can go ahead and talk about the Rams-Bears, the finale on Sunday night. You get that 4th down play on Caleb Williams. He's running for his life.
He's running backwards.
Running for his life.
Yeah.
And like, honestly, like, we talked about how in college, like, all these teams it's new. It's nice to have it. So I'm pulling for the Bears a little bit to have a new team, and I'm not pulling for anybody else.
Yeah.
So, and you're like, well, it's over. And he just flings that thing.
I mean, it was a Hail Mary. It was the equivalent to a Hail Mary.
Yes.
Throw it up.
And Durant just looked like he was in position, and it kind of just,
I don't really know
what he was doing.
He just ran forward. It was weird.
And Kmet is right there, catches it. We talked how Sig, we thought he should have went for it on 4th and 4. If I'm Ben Johnson, I'm going for 2. Like, you have all the momentum on your side. That Rams defense is completely flustered. You thought you had the game won. Like, their defensive linemen are celebrating because he's just flinging the ball thinking it's over. And then you got to regroup right away and get a 2-yard stop.
I don't know, man. I'm going to disagree with you on that, especially not at home and not in those weather conditions. You play for overtime. They got the stop that they needed in overtime, and then they were moving the ball before the pick. But you play for overtime. You try to, maybe get a turnover or something to where you can just kick the field goal at the end and win it. So, no, not mad at him not going for 2.
But we talked about the fact that you have it in your hands. All you need is 2 yards to win the game.
Yeah, but you're at home and you're in your elements at
I
home.
get
You
that.
got the
Like, you play for
crowd
a tie at home, you play for the win on the road. Like, that doesn't apply in all scenarios. Like, you're the dog in that game. You're the dog in that game.
What made you so confident that they would get the 2? Like, I was confident that Indiana would get the 4 yards. Like, they've done it earlier in the game. They've done it time and time again. I would have no confidence the Bears could get those 2 yards.
I'm not so sure that Indiana would have got that 4 yards either. Like, look what it took to convert the 4th and 5. Like, the pressure that they were getting on them, I don't know, but I still would have gone for it. In this situation, I'm just rolling the Bears, what they've done all year, figuring out ways to win. And I've got a chance to close it. And Ben Johnson's been aggressive all year. I think he kind of got out of his element a little bit.
I don't know. I'm not mad at him for kicking the extra point. I think that was the right call. I'm going to disagree with you on this.
I don't think it's completely a wrong call. I don't. I don't think it's an ignorant call to go to overtime.
But they had the ball. They had the ball with a chance to win in overtime.
They were on their side of the 50.
Yeah. I mean, so it was right there for the take, and you just got to take care of the ball.
You do. And, like, that play, I don't know if DJ Moore quit on the route or what happened.
Yeah.
But there was a miscommunication there. Do you need to take that risk in that point, or you just keep dinking and dunking and getting 10 yards and to where you're kicking, where you're getting to where you can kick a 45-yarder, 40-yarder? But you can't throw that pick.
No, you can't.
You cannot
certainly can't do that. Certainly can't do that.
And once that pick happened, you get that feeling that the Bears' magic maybe is going to run out, but then you never know because you just saw what happened on 4th down in regulation, and like, do they have one more up their sleeve? And Matt Stafford just kind of calmly drove them down the field, and they get a game-winning kick. But I mean, dude, what an incredible season for the Bears.
Great season, absolutely fantastic season for the Bears. I mean, would they have 6? Was it 6 wins where they were trailing under 2 minutes?
It was 7.
7 wins when trailing under 2 minutes.
Yeah,
damn near had another one.
Yeah, if they go for 2, they might have it.
Like, I mean, that's just incredible. What an incredible stat, and like you said, like, great turnaround in Chicago. But the Bears' magic finally did run out.
And look, they lost, but Caleb Williams at the Blackhawks game sitting right up against the glass last night, and you got to be excited about the future if you're a Bears fan. You got an exciting new young head coach. You got an exciting team, and now you just got to see if you can run it back, because that's the thing we've seen when you win all these games the way they did. Remember, the Chiefs did this 2 years ago, and their season kind of flipped the other way. So you got to prevent that from happening.
Yep.
The first game of playoff weekend was, I was probably looking forward to Rams-Bears the most, but this is probably the one I was looking forward to the second most.
Yeah.
Bills at Broncos.
Great game.
Great game. How much blame does Josh Allen deserve for this one? 2 picks, 2 lost fumbles. He fumbled the ball 3 times.
He put the ball on the ground. Yeah, like that was.
Like, I feel like people aren't talking about that.
I mean, he does deserve some of it. I mean, he deserves the blame. There's no doubt. I mean,
you also miss a wide open Dawson Knox where that would have ended it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes. Then I mean, the officials let some pass interference stuff go, and then on that last drive in overtime, they call those back to back that were very, very questionable. I would say questionable.
Yeah, the pick. It's just, my thing is,
I think it was a good pick.
I still don't know for sure, but the fact that they went through it as quick as they did, when I watched them review plays in week 2, that I'm like, this is clearly a fumble, and they feel like they look at it for 15 minutes in week 2, and you're in the AFC Divisional Round in overtime, where if it's a catch, the Bills are in field goal range. If it's a pick, obviously the Broncos are going the other way.
Right.
And McDermott had to call timeout even to get them to feel like they might look at it a little more.
I mean, isn't it the rule in the NFL, like, to make it a catch, you got to survive the ground and all that? I mean, it was dual possession, and when they hit the ground, to me, it looked like dual possession. When they hit the ground, the defender came out with it. I have no problem with it. I mean, I think it was a good pick.
Look, and I'm not arguing the call. I just think it was rushed a little bit. Like, it needed a second look. And Joe Burrow tweeted for the first time in like 4 years.
I saw that today.
Saying, hey, look, it's strategy. He's trying to get on the good side with the refs. He's trying. It's strategy.
I guess.
So,
I did see that.
like, I'm not arguing that it was a bad call. A call of that magnitude, to me, deserves a little more time to make sure you're getting it right. And I just felt like they kind of rushed it.
It was right. I mean, it was very quick. It was definitely very quick.
And then on the ensuing possession, there's 2 plays in a row that, I mean, here's the thing that sucks about overtime is a 30, 40-yard pass play every single time. When you're inside of field goal range, if you see a flag, your team lost or your team won.
Yeah.
And that, it's just, you watch that whole game, and it's such a good game. And the play before, like, I'm looking, I was like, is this going to be a flag? And there wasn't one. And then the next play, you see it. And once they throw that flag, it's curtains. Like, it don't matter. Like, the refs just ended the game. And I mean, all you got to do is hit a kick, and the Broncos are moving on.
Yeah. No, it was questionable. It was definitely questionable.
It just, like, when you're watching the whole game, it's just, you lose some value, I feel like, when a game ends on a PI.
Yeah, and I mean, in hindsight now, I mean, I feel bad for Buffalo. I mean, but like, if they weren't ever gonna, if there was ever a chance that they were gonna win a Super Bowl,
You feel bad for them?
A little bit.
Is that the? Do you feel bad for them?
I mean, they've went to 4 straight Super Bowls, lost them all. They're in the driver's seat, a golden opportunity without Mahomes, Burrow, and Jackson in the playoffs for Josh Allen, the reigning MVP, to take this team to a place it's never been, and they choked.
Well, I mean, there's a reason why they were on the road at Denver. Because, like, we kept saying, like, we think they could win the Super Bowl because they got Josh Allen, but they haven't been that top team all year.
They were 12-5. I mean, it was still, like, in a lot of years, 12-5 probably gets you hosting this playoff game.
Not 12-5.
12-5 wins the division a lot of times.
Yeah, but it's not going to get you being the 1 seed overall.
No, but it's going to get you in this round of the playoffs. You win the division, you're hosting this game. You're not on the road in this game. Right?
I mean, that's not necessarily true. Only the top 2 host. So you got to be a top 2 divisional seed.
Well, 12, I mean,
at 12-5, you're not usually going to be the 1 or the 2.
I think he could be.
They are what they've kind of been all year. They haven't been a great team. And I think a lot of us jumped on the Bills bandwagon in the postseason because they had the one quarterback who has been there, done it a little bit before. This is his chance. There's no Burrow. There's no Mahomes. There's no Jackson. He's got to take advantage of it. And he had 4 turnovers.
4 turnovers.
And missed Dawson Knox and a chance to clinch the game. And because of that, they're not moving on from Josh Allen because that would not be smart.
They're moving
on from your head coach instead. So Harbaugh and Sean McDermott are both out. And it's because of, Harbaugh's because of 1 kick.
Yeah.
And because I still don't think he gets fired if they make the playoffs, regardless of what happens against the Texans. And McDermott's out because
the referees decided to say it was an interception instead of a catch.
Yeah, I mean, that was a big part of it. But also, if you don't have 4 turnovers from your star quarterback, you probably don't lose that game either.
I mean, yeah, and it sucks because next week, I kind of wish the Bills would have won because next week I think it's just going to be a boring matchup with no Bo Nix. I mean, I don't think Jared Stidham is going into Foxborough with a chance to win. I think Josh Allen and the Bills would go into Foxborough with a chance to win, but with no Bo Nix.
I could see this being a close game, but
it's going to be a low game. If it is a close game, it's going to be
I could see it being like
13-10 type of close game.
I could be at 17-14 with the 17 being the final score, somebody kicking a game-winning field goal. We don't need to go a ton into the Texans. the Patriots game.
Boring.
Like, bring in Davis Mills. Like,
Do what?
bring in Davis Mills. C.J. Stroud was terrible.
Davis Mills.
Bring him in. Like, I don't think they lost the game when C.J. Stroud was hurt in the middle of the year. He kept them afloat.
Yeah.
And C.J. Stroud, you are not winning the game with the way he was playing.
I mean,
how many total turnovers?
How many total turnovers did we have in that game from both sides? I mean, it was.
We have 4 picks.
5 turnovers, 8 total turnovers, 5 from the Texans and 3 from the Patriots. Like, that's bad football.
4 picks, and you complete 20 of 47 passes.
Ugh, that's brutal.
And really, they still had a chance. But
yeah,
it was still, the game was not over in the second half. Like, they still had a chance if he would have figured out how to make some plays. And that's why I say, like,
it was 21. It was 21-16 going to the fourth. And then
bring in Davis Mills, dude.
Yeah, it was bad.
So now we look at the AFC and the NFC championship games. You just think it's with Jarrett Stidham, there's no way the Broncos can.
I mean, I know their defense. I know their defense is good, but New England's defense is also good. And, I mean, when that happens, like you said, it could be a low-scoring game, but I'm going Drake May has a chance to put up points, and Jarrett Stidham does not.
Does the Nick Foles tweet to Broncos fans, does that give you any encouragement?
I did not see Nick Foles' tweet to the Broncos fans.
Well, as you know, Nick Foles had some success against the New England Patriots in the postseason as a backup quarterback.
So you could run the Philly special? Is that what Nick Foles is telling the Broncos to do?
They might, but I don't think it's a no doubter that the Patriots are going to win this game. I think the Broncos defense is that good. If you made me pick, yes, I'm going the Patriots because you've got a quarterback who's going to finish second in MVP voting against a guy who hasn't thrown a pass since 2023, 2024. It's been a couple years since he's even thrown a pass. They did give him they gave him a 2-year contract, I think, for $6 or $10 million, something like that. So they paid him some money to be their backup. Sean Payton obviously believes in him. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think the Patriots will end up winning.
No, actually, I'd forgotten. I misspoke. I thought the game was in Foxborough, but the Broncos were the 1 seed. So, being at home maybe makes it a little bit better. But I just don't see a way that Jared, guy who hasn't thrown a pass in 3 years, is going to move the ball and score on the Patriots defense. You
just got to rely on that defense, on the Denver defense. That's what you have to do.
Hopefully you get a touchdown, a special teams touchdown, or something like that, maybe.
It definitely takes away some luster from this game. I've seen a lot of injuries affect teams in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And obviously losing your quarterback is as big as an injury as it gets. But
which I didn't even notice that he did it. Did you?
No, and I still think it's not completely certain what play it happened on.
Because he threw because the ones where they had the pass interference, like it happened before that, is what they were saying. Like he threw the ball with this injury. I mean, it wasn't when he went and took the knee in the middle of the field. So it had to have happened.
But there's people out there on the internet saying it was, which it wasn't.
No.
But you can see, there's video of him where you can see him kind of grimacing a little bit on the sideline. And then you also because he was interviewed by Tracy Wolfson after the game. And you can tell that he is not putting any weight on that ankle. You can tell that his legs kind of bent if you look at it closely.
Okay.
So I would think that he probably knew something was really bad. And the fact that they had already ruled him out when Peyton was doing his postgame.
Yeah. So they knew. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But on the other side, you got the Rams going into the Seahawks division opponents.
Yep. Seahawks favored. I think I just saw 2.5. I expect that to be a pretty good game. Kind of close to what it was in the regular season when Seattle had that comeback. But Seattle just looks unbeatable based on what they just did to the Niners. So I just think it's going to be hard for LA to. I mean, I know LA's familiar with it. They do it every year, but so was Seattle, or so was San Francisco. I just think going into the 12th man, it's going to be hard to do. It's going to be hard to win.
I think it's going to be hard, but that other side has Matt Stafford and they have Sean McVay. And obviously they've done it before. These two teams are familiar with. They're not going to be intimidated by the 12th man.
No, I mean they've played in. I mean a lot of these players have played in this environment, for multiple years. Yeah.
I think I've been higher on the Rams for the most of the year. To switch now, I think I got to stick to my guns. I'm going to go Rams here. But what they did last week to the Niners is just, it makes it tougher.
That was your team.
Your team. I know. But let's also take a look back. How many games did I get right last week? I picked the Bills.
Okay, yeah.
They did not win.
No, you picked the Patriots.
I picked the Patriots. You picked the Rams. I picked the Rams.
And then you picked the 49ers.
And I picked the 49ers.
So 2-2.
2-2.
But let's talk about talking about what you got right and what you got wrong. What's this I'm hearing? Your favorite bet of all time was what, a 4-leg parlay?
It was terrible.
And how many legs did you get out of your favorite bet of all time?
I got the last leg, which when you're already dead, it doesn't matter. But I had the Bills money line. That was the first one. I felt real great about it.
Yep.
They get screwed on Josh Allen not knowing how to protect the ball and fake interceptions and pass interferences. Don't really think it's a fake interception, but when you're betting, you think that.
Yeah.
The next game that night was the Niners Seahawks. Oh, I had the Niners in the points +7. I felt real good about that one.
Yeah.
And then what did we have? Oh, I had the under in the first half of the Texans and the Patriots under 20. That did not happen. And the only one I got was the Bears +3.5.
Okay. Yeah, Carl said you texted him and was like, "This is my favorite bet ever," and you were just.
I do that a lot. It's a wonder, how they allow somebody like this to talk sports. Well, in this day and age, anybody in the world can host a podcast, and you can be the dumbest person alive and still do it. Nobody has to listen to it, but you can host it.
That's true.
So I'm officially going Pats Rams.
I'm gonna go rematch of the Super Bowl when Pete Carroll decided to not give the ball to Marshawn Lynch and lose the game for Seattle. We're going to go with that rematch, and we're going to go the Seahawks and Patriots, with the Seahawks this time coming out victorious.
Well, the bad news is that the Patriots are in the playoffs. It's probably going to be a rematch because they've been there 47 times. The Patriots-Rams, also a rematch.
It is a rematch. Yep.
And we talked a little bit about this. The Patriots dynasty with Tom Brady, you get so tired of them being there. And they're like, Brady's gone, Belichick's gone. They're going to be down for a little bit.
They did. They stunk for a couple years.
They were 4-13 2 years in a row. And now they're on the verge of going back to the Super Bowl in Mike Vrabel's first year.
It's because they got a really, really good coach in Mike Vrabel, a guy that's had proven success in the NFL when he took the Titans as the number to the 1 seed in the AFC. So you get a coach like that. I didn't expect it to happen in year one, but here we are.
Yeah, so won't get a ton into college hoops, but the game of the week to me was Florida going into Nashville and handing the Vanderbilt their second loss of the week.
Yeah.
Did you watch the game?
I did not. No.
So Florida's managers forgot 3 jerseys.
What?
And Xavier Lee was wearing 99. Boogie Flam was wearing 33 and had somebody else's name on the back of his jersey.
What?
How
do you do that?
I don't know. I was talking to former Louisville women's basketball managers Nick Newman, Brady Walls about it on Saturday. You're fired. You have to be fired. But in a weird way, it might have turned around their season because Xavier Lee played the best game that he's played all year wearing number 99. And I'm guessing that all Florida fans are hoping that he wears that jersey the rest of the year because he finished with a season high. Like he had like 20 points and was great. But their guards are starting to play a little better. And with that front court, I'm not saying it yet, but if they keep improving, they might have a chance to defend their crown.
They're starting to look. I mean, they're looking now like starting to look like the Florida we expected them to look like. I mean, ever since they lost that Missouri game on the 3rd of January, they beat a ranked Georgia team by 15. They beat a ranked Tennessee team by almost 30. They won by 24, whatever it was. They then go to Oklahoma, who's not very good. They win that game by 23. And then they go into Vanderbilt and, another ranked win. So what is that? It's 1, 2, 3 ranked wins here in the last 12 days?
Yeah.
So this is the Florida team that we expected to see at the beginning of the year, and they won again tonight. They beat LSU by 18. So they're not just winning; they're beating some good teams and ranked teams, and they're winning them by double digits. Upwards of 20 points almost every night. So
no, and the issue with them was Boogie Flan and was Xavier Lee. Were they going to be able to provide the production that they lost last year with Walter Clayton and the rest of those guys?
Yeah.
Because how good Condon and Hawk and Chinlik Yelu all are in the front court. And you know what Ty Golden can do as a coach, and they're definitely trending in the right direction. And like, here's another thing. Like last week, undefeated Vanderbilt, I'm like, dude, this team can win it all. And then what do they go do? Lose 2 in a row because they get the Nick jinx.
Well, another team that was right there that was also undefeated. We were talking about there was those 5 teams that were undefeated. Iowa State.
Yeah.
And they've gone and dropped 2 in a row. It is one on the road to a Cincinnati team that has really been struggling this year. So, I mean, that was kind of my surprise of the weekend was Iowa State going to Cincinnati and Cincinnati coming out with a 9-point victory.
Well, you talk Wes Miller needing to win, man. That he needed that one.
Look,
you go to a kind of a desperate Kansas team that's kind of starting to figure things out.
Yeah.
You're getting rolled the whole game. You never really make a run. Like, look, it's your first loss of the year. You kind of can push that one aside. But then to follow that one up with another loss at a UC team that you said has really kind of struggled and under Wes Miller, and that one's really not explainable. But they did go and they won by 30 tonight against UCF, trying to get that back right.
Yeah.
But Kentucky, I guess you kind of got to talk about them. Their last 3 games, they've came back from 12 down against Mississippi State, from 18 down against LSU, and then 17 down against Tennessee.
2 of them on the road.
Yeah, 2 of them on the road. You get that. The pass to Moreno again at LSU.
Yeah, the Leitner style. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it really did remind you of the Leitner catch.
Yeah.
He didn't bounce it. He didn't have as much time. But did you even go up and catch that ball? Like, his catch was contested. Leitner's catch was just not contested. They're behind him. Just let him get it. Like, his catch was contested. For him to go up that high, get it, turn around, and make that shot was pretty awesome. And then to follow that up with coming back and beating Tennessee again, you lose, like, you're down 12 against Mississippi State, and Big Blue Nation is about to be like, let's go. All right, Mark Pope, we've seen enough. And then you win that one, and then you're down 18 against the LSU team is not that great.
Nope.
You figure out a way to win that one, and then you get down 17. You're like, we're going to do this every game. And it looks like that might be the case.
They're finding a way.
Louisville got it going right by just absolutely putting on a Pittsburgh team that did not look like they even wanted to be there.
No, that was a dominating performance by the Cards from start to finish there. I think they jumped out, 12-0, 14-0, something like that.
Yeah, McNeely hit a couple threes there to start, and
they were off to the races from the beginning of the game.
That was kind of it. So we only have 3 undefeated teams now.
Yeah.
We have Arizona, Nebraska, and Miami, Ohio.
Well, I just saw it won in double overtime, I believe.
the Red Hawks
State.
on Saturday were down late, and they got a 3 at the buzzer to send it to overtime, and then they end up winning overtime. And my guy Peter Suter had 37 points, was 7 of 10 from 3, and hit the 3 that kind of sealed it in overtime. It was Ian Elmer who hit the 3 to force overtime. He had 17 points, but they cracked the top 25 for the first time this year. I mean, if you're 19-0, I don't care who you're playing, you need to be in the top 25. So give the Red Hawks some love.
I'm giving them some love, yeah. I mean, like I said, they did it again tonight. They hit a shot with 6 seconds left to force overtime against Kent State and pulled that game out on the road by 6. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, you're 20-0. You can only play the teams that are on your schedule. So, you know, you might say they're MAC teams, but 20-0 is 20-0. So, yeah, you got to put them in the rankings, and deservedly so.
Yeah, so we're wrapping up. College football's done. We're wrapping up NFL. So our show will really kind of start being all about college hoops, and I'm excited about that. There's a lot of good teams out there. A lot of fun guards. I'm gonna put together my favorite guards to watch list here in a couple weeks, because I've got a few guys that I really like watching play.
Okay.
And that was why I was such on Vandy, because I really like watching Tyler Tanner play. And Texas Tech, Christian Anderson, but we'll put together. Maybe you could put together some bigs that you like to watch. I'll put together some smalls.
Bigs and some smalls. Got it.
But before we get out of here, we talked a little bit about LIV last week with the move with Brooks Koepka. I thought this story was pretty interesting. Michael Asasso, who won the NCAA Divisional National Championship last year, played at Ole Miss.
Okay.
Because he was a national championship, you get an invitation to the Masters. So
okay.
was eligible to play in the Masters, but instead he is elected to join LIV, and he's getting a $20 million straight away. He's playing on Phil's High Flyers team. You think this is going to be something so the advantage with LIV is you get your money right away. You don't have to go through all the different levels of tours to get to the PGA. You don't have to go through Korn Ferry. Getting that $20 million bonus. Will we see other?
It's hard, man. Like I understand why you want to do it, because you want to get that guaranteed $20 million payday, and not have to go through qualifying school in the Korn Ferry. And what if you don't make it? Like, what if you all of a sudden your game isn't what you thought it was, and you don't end up making it to the PGA Tour? But you're throwing away, like, as a golfer, like, you're never going to play in the Masters now. You're never going to play in the Masters. You're never going to play probably in the Ryder Cup. Like, you're never going to, like, as a golfer, like, these tournaments that you probably dream about, you're never going to get a chance to play in them now.
Yeah, and your average golf fan's not ever going to know who you are.
No. Nope.
Because you're not going to get invites to any of these majors.
No. So
because there's no way for you to really find a way to qualify.
No, you're done. Like, you're never going to play in the Masters or the U.S. Open or the British or the PGA. You're never going to be on a Ryder Cup team. You're never going to probably be on a President's Cup team. Like, you are just going to go getting forgot about. But you got $20 million in your pocket.
Yeah, and how hard would that to be pass up? How hard would that be to pass up? As a
I guess it all depends on.
He's also foregoing his senior year too.
Like, you can make, like, if you're as good as you're supposed to be, like, you're an NCAA champion. If you're as good, if you have confidence in your skills and you think you can make it, you can probably make the $20 million on tour and then some. To me, it's all about, do you have confidence in yourself? Do you trust your game enough to where, you know what, I'll go to the Q qualifying school and the Korn Ferry Tour. I'm good enough to win on those tournaments. I'm going to go on the PGA Tour, and I'm going to be good on the PGA Tour. And then I'll get my $20 million and then some.
Yeah, it's the long game against.
It's the long game.
It's the long game versus the guarantee. And there's a lot of national champions that never make it on the PGA Tour. So
Yeah.
it's not a given.
It's not a
It's
given,
it's
but
it's
it's all
not a
about the
given.
confidence in yourself and in your game. If you think that you can do it.
And there's a lot of talk of like live. I don't think they changed the rule from 54 to 72. I don't think you can wear shorts anymore either. I think
Why?
that's a rule that they changed,
Why?
which is stupid because it's live. Like who cares? But
Nobody's watching it anyway.
they're saying that they should let him wear shorts because dude's just got absolute trunks. And he wears small shorts. He's got trunks, dude. And like his swing is, if I tried to emulate his swing, my body would fall apart. Like every bone would just break.
Also, why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he play? If I was him, I would have probably have played the Masters, and then maybe tried to join Live after that if he had still had that opportunity.
Yeah, if you get a top 5, you get to qualify the next year.
I would have probably.
Like,
I would have played the Masters.
because you were never playing it.
No, like as a golfer, like as a golfer, like that's the mecca. Like that's the golf mecca.
And they ain't making no pathway for you to get back in.
No, you're out. No, he's
You don't
done,
have
man.
any name recognition.
He will never play. Like I said, he'll never play on the PGA Tour. He'll never play in the major tournaments, Ryder Cups, or anything. Like he's thrown it all away. But he's throwing it away for $20 million.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a tough call. That's a tough
I think
call.
a lot of people would throw away that opportunity for a guaranteed 20 mil.
It's a tough call.
But he's got to figure out a way if this is what he's going to do, and obviously this is what he's going to do. Like you got to play it a lot like Bryson does, to where you're making your name other ways, because you're not going to make your name by winning on the live.
Some YouTubes and some TikToks.
Yeah, I think it's the only way to do it, to really build that name recognition.
Yeah.
So, have you watched any of the TGO?
I was on at the bowling alley. I haven't watched a lot. I did see it was on at the bowling alley today. Jupiter was losing again. I'm assuming they lost. They still haven't won.
They're terrible.
What are they? Like, wait, they didn't win a single match last year.
They haven't
They're
won
0-2 this year.
They haven't. They had a chance, and they won. Like they did the hammer and got it back to 1, and then they lost the next hole, and it was over.
Poor Tiger.
I don't know. Like the ratings are down, I think, pretty significantly from year 1. And
Yeah.
I mean, Tiger's there, but he ain't playing. He's just kind of being the hammer guy, where he's got the hammer in his pocket and helping them read greens. I enjoy watching it because I just like watching those guys play, but I just don't know if it appeals.
Did they start it earlier this year? Like,
no, it started at the same time.
It did? Okay.
Mhm.
I mean, there's like I'm not watching it only because there's other stuff I want to watch on. Like, I'm watching ranked college basketball. Like, I'm watching
you're putting it
Arkansas
up.
and Vanderbilt tonight. Like, you know, if it was in April after the college basketball season's over and it's just 162 baseball games on, you know, yeah, maybe I'll watch TGL on a Tuesday night instead of Reds baseball. But
Well, it's hard to do that because, I mean, prime time is going to be going up against something for the most part.
yeah,
And normally what they do is they have that 7:00 slot where they're leading into the second game of college basketball, and whether it's on ESPN or ESPN2, they've got a doubleheader. So they're always going up against games.
yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a good concept. Like I said, I enjoy watching it. I just don't know how much the casual golfer or the casual sports fan is watching that over any college basketball.
Yeah, and I'll admit, like, I watched it more last year than, like I said, than I have this year.
Well, the novelty of it, and I think that's a lot. I think that's why their numbers are down, because it was the novelty. People kind of just wanted to check it out to see what it was. And
I enjoyed it. Like I enjoy it. Like I if I sat there and watched it, I would like it. But there's just other things that I would rather watch.
they mic up the guys, but like you give Cam Smith a microphone, and it's just like, dude, talk, right? And like that's the thing about Jupiter's team. They're entertaining, but they never win. Like Max and Kiss are fun. Like they're funny and they say stuff. And Tiger's there, which adds another element. And they added Akshay this year, which they actually give him a player that is not old.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just interested to see that the numbers are kind of down, and I do think it kind of makes sense. And maybe they need to keep adding new elements every year
Well, like the
to
teams
bring
are
people
are
back.
the teams like the teams are the same, right? Wasn't Max on Jupiter last year?
Yeah.
Like, why don't we just redraft?
Well, I think you want some consistency there
Why?
because the goal is to have people develop
Like
fandom for
like though like
cities.
they like I'm a Jupiter fan or I'm a
Yeah,
this like
I think that's the goal.
I mean
Eh, I,
I think in golf fans root more for players than
well,
they
and
do.
that's why you take your like I cheer for New York because Ricky's on it. Like I
But
think that's you cheer for Jupiter because Tiger's on it, right? Like and that's the point. Like golf is an individual sport and everybody
but I'm
has their
not
favorite
cheering for
golfer,
Jupiter.
but they want you to
Like I'm not
follow
ever
them
gonna
through their
have the
team.
connection to the Jupiter, whatever they call themselves, or like the Boston Commons because Rory's on it. Like I'm not gonna like I don't care what the team name is or who, like
Right.
all that. Like I'm just want Rory to win. I
Well,
want him to win if he's on Boston or if he's on Jupiter or if he's on Atlanta or LA or whatever. Like, the teams don't even play in the cities. Like the city names are just
well,
stupid anyway.
yes.
Like
Like
they're not even playing in Boston
Rick's
or
from
Jupiter.
California and lives in Florida and
Yeah,
he plays
like
for New York.
they go like
But
no, like you're not. I don't think you're gonna get that connection to the teams that you're looking for.
no, and look, I'm as big of a Rick fan as there is. And I'll watch New York every time they play, but how much New York golf club gear have I bought?
None.
And I don't know how many people are more like of a golf fan of an individual player than I am. I mean, there probably are some people, but it's got a ways to go
Yeah,
before. I think it's a cool concept. I enjoy watching it, but if I'm not buying merch, I don't know who is.
not many
Right?
people. Not many people.
But you got to get your Indiana merch before that it's gone.
They will restock it.
Dude, they maybe won't. Like the Braves won the World Series in 21. That night, I bought the toboggan. The next day, you couldn't get it, and it was never available again. So if there's something that you want, you better get it.
I'll look into that. Yeah,
And then also come back like 3-4 months later and see what's on sale. But get what you want right now that you make sure that there's something that you definitely have to have, buy it tonight.
Gotcha.
And then go back 4, 5, 6 months later and see if stuff's 50% off.
Yeah.
Because I got a ton of Bengals AFC championship stuff like 6 months to a year later.
Yeah.
Bought all the nephews' Christmas presents and
There you go.
T-shirt jerseys with the Super Bowl patch on it. All kinds of stuff. But the Indiana Hoosiers, they won the Cignetti.
Crazy.
Won the Cignetti. And y'all won bowling. Congrats.
We did.
But that's all I got for this one. We went like an hour and a half. I don't think we need to go an hour and a half this week.
Nope.
But we appreciate everyone for listening. And for those of you that watch us on YouTube or Spotify, we appreciate that you all putting up with our ugly faces for an hour and listening to us. But
yeah,
you follow us on what apps are we on? We're on Apple Music. We're on Amazon. We're on anything you can get your pods. Hit the subscribe button because that helps us pop up on more people's pods, and then it pops up so you know when we drop a new episode. We started dropping like little segments of our episodes, so you can get those on. We're calling them quick takes, and those will pop up throughout the week too. And so we'll put up something kind of recapping the championship or recapping the NFL. That'll be there. But for the 6'6" Neil, I got it wrong in the intro. We're gonna get it right in the outro. I'm the 4'10" Nick. You have been listening to the Height Differential. Can I get a Hoosiers?
Who? Hoosiers.
We'll talk to you next week.
Give it to me.